Hello kids. So today we are going to learn factorization using difference of squares. So you know that whenever we have this expression a square minus b square, so you can split it into factors a minus b into a plus b. So what does it actually mean? It means that whenever you take difference of two squares, like for example, you take 5 square minus 3 square, you can find out its answer, the difference of these two squares, by simply multiplying the difference of the number 5 and 3 into the sum of the numbers 5 and 3. So it will be equal to 2 times 8, which is 16. You can take bigger numbers, say 100 square minus 9 square. So you can simply do 100 plus 9 into 100 minus 9. So this means 109 into 91, which will be equal to 9,990. So wherever you see difference of two squares, just split it into two factors, a minus b and a plus b. So let's solve some questions where we have to factorize such expressions. So the first expression, the most simplest one, is x raised to power 2 minus y raised to power 2. So always read it like we have to find the difference of the squares of x and y. So when we are asked to factorize it, we are simply going to split it into two factors, that is x minus y into x plus y. Next expression can be x square minus 16y square. Now I simply ask you, is it difference of squares or not? So to say it quickly, to tell quickly, you should know your squares very well. Is 16 a square number? Yes, it is. So we can simply write it in the form of difference of squares like this. X square minus 4y square. Now we can see the difference of squares, so we can simply split it into two factors, that is x minus 4y into x plus 4y. So these are the two factors. Now let's move on to the next expression. We have 81x square minus 25y square. Now just pause the video for some time and think about this. Is it difference of squares or not? Is 81 a square number? Is 25 a square number? Okay. So after you have solved, so let's see. 81 is a square number. 81 can be written as 9 square. 81 is equal to 9 square and 25 is equal to 5 square. So 81x square can be written as 9x whole square and 25y square can be written as 5y whole square. So now we can see the difference of squares clearly. So we are going to split it into two factors, that is 9x minus 5y into 9x plus 5y. So these are the two factors of this expression. Okay, the factors also mean that if you multiply these back, you will get this same expression back. So you can just check and that whether these two factors are correct or not, and tell me in the comment section below. Okay, let's take another one. 162x square minus 50y square. Now you will say 162 and 850 are not perfect squares, so we cannot express them as the difference of squares. But just improve your observation skills a little bit and see, is there anything common between these two expressions, between these two terms? That is the first term and the second term. Is anything common? So just take it out. We can see 162 and 50 both are even numbers. So we can simply take out 2. So when we take out 2, we get 81x square minus 25y square. Isn't it the same expression that we just did? Yes, it is. Now we can simply express it as difference of squares very easily like this. And now we can split this into two more factors, 9x minus 5y and 9x plus 5y. So we can see this expression, this particular expression has three factors, 2, 9x minus 5y, 9x plus 5y. If you multiply again all these three factors together, you will get the same expression back. So you can check this out. Okay, let's take more examples. Can you do this? First of all, tell me, is it difference of squares or not? So the second term I can see is it is a square. The first term, 36, is 36 a square number? Yes, it is. It can be expressed as 6 square. So we have 6 square minus a plus 1 whole square. So now we can see this is difference of squares only. So what are we going to do? We are simply going to use our the difference of squares. What are the factors? The factors are 6 minus a plus 1 and the other factor is 6 plus a plus 1. But we are not going to leave our answer with these brackets. We are going to open these brackets and we get 6 minus a minus 1. Whenever we have a negative sign in front of a bracket, all the signs get flipped. Flipped means that a is positive here, but it becomes negative. 1 is positive, it becomes negative after we open the bracket. So what do we get now? 6 plus a plus 1. Now let's do some simplification. So we get 5 minus a and we get 7 minus a. So these are the two factors of the expression, of this expression, and if you multiply them back, you will get the same expression. Okay, let's take more. A plus 1 whole square minus a square. Now just resolve it into factors. So we can see this is difference of squares. So simply we are going to do a plus 1 minus a into a plus 1 plus a. So the first factor becomes 1. So it's not needed. So we'll not write it down. And the second factor becomes 2a plus 1. Or let's write it as a plus 1 and a only. So because this particular expression has a very good application. Now difference of squares this is. So now let's say I do 5 square minus 4 square. So this is a plus 1, this is a, because it is 1 more than the second number. So when I resolve it into factors, I get 5 minus 4 into 5 plus 4, which is equal to 9. So when we take, that means now from here we can derive when we take difference of two consecutive squares, like for example 36 square minus 35 square. So its answer is simply 36 plus 35. So the answer is 71. Another example, 100 square minus 99 square. So answer is simply 199. So using this difference of squares, see how beautifully we have used it. Another example we can take, say 300 square minus 299 square. The answer is simply 599. I hope this was interesting and I hope you have learned something new from this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.